This is a story, came from my life, and I'm just recording this shit. I'ma just give it to you.
What's up, y'all? I'm Carlos. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today, y'all, I wanted to talk about a very serious topic. If y'all didn't know, June is Men's Mental Health Month. Everybody's mental health is important. It's something in our world we don't really talk about due to all this stuff going on in the world with society and celebrities and whatever, you know, it's a lot going on. Get comfortable, get y'all snacks, drinks, whatever, you know, we can have a sit-in chat. I want to start off with being able to talk about how you feel. We're taught from a kid to just stay strong and do this and do that, and you're a man, you don't do that. And it's like, in reality, you should be able to express how you feel. You're human. If something goes down and you're not able to talk about how you feel and you grow up like that, that bottles a lot of stuff in. Bottling your emotions in is not really a good idea, because at the end of the day, one of those days you're just gonna burst and be upset, and it gets crazy. Most people feel like if a man is too expressive of how he feels, then he's feminine, or he doesn't really have a backbone or something like that. Every human should be able to talk about how they feel. And it stems from a little kid like hurting his knee and being like, suck it up, you okay? You hurt your knee, you'll be alright. And you grow up, you brush it off a lot, you brush it off. It's okay to brush stuff off, but if it's something that you feel like really affects you, don't be afraid to express it. That brings me to my next point, which is not being afraid of therapy. Oh, brother. There is a stigma put on therapy, like, oh, therapy is bad. Therapy is for crazy people. Why do I want to go to therapy? I'm just telling a stranger my feelings. If you look at it this way, when you meet your friends, you get to know your friends and stuff like that, and you might express how you feel to them. That was once a stranger. I love how in today's society that therapy is becoming a norm for everybody. I personally never been to a therapist, but I wouldn't mind going, you know what I'm saying? Their job is to help you overcome what you're dealing with. I advise you to really just read up on it and decide if you want to do it, but don't just judge it based off of what you hear. Next, I want to talk about ways of expressing how you feel. You can express your emotions through different ways of arts. You can draw, you can paint, you can sing, you can rap, you can write poems. Oh, there's so many. Like, growing up, I was always a very creative kid. For me, I love acting, I love writing, I love drawing, music, journaling. Men, listen up, please. Journaling is not just for women. Journaling can really help you a lot. Whether you're having a good day or a bad day, you can get creative with it. Like, you ain't gotta be a diary or a journal. So that way, when you read back on those emotions, you be like, okay, what made me feel this way? Or what triggered me to feel this way? You got your phone, put it in your notes about how you feel. In my notes, I call it writing on the wall, because at the end of every prompt, I put like the date and the time. So it's like writing on the wall. It's kind of like a tweet. Crying. This one's gonna mess with a lot of people, I can tell. Going back to childhood, a lot of men are programmed to, as crazy as it sounds, a program. You can't cry, you gotta be strong. If you find yourself needing a moment to cry, go cry. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to cry, just don't stay down for too long. I know there's a lot of young men my age, I've seen it, trust me. A lot of young men my age who feel like crying doesn't really help you. I know a lot of people have these moments where you just like, one day you just sit under your bed and you think about a lot of stuff you've overcame. You just start tearing up, whatever. It's okay to cry, bro. You're human. Breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like, crying is like a breather for the body. One of the quotes I say a lot is, comparison is the thief of joy. I say it all the time. You're strolling on social media and like, this person has this car and all this other stuff. It really doesn't help you, because you're comparing yourself to somebody not knowing what they've been through. You have to be happy with you know what I'm saying, before you compare yourself to anybody else. I know a lot of people think when you're in your 20s, you're like fully grown, which you are, you're grown, but like, you're still learning, you're still young, you're still growing. You really learn what's around you, whatever, right? And then by the time you hit your 40s, 30s, 50s, whatever, you're kind of applying that to your life. Like, at 22, I learned this, and now I have to, by 58, I know to do this and do that. It's all about life lessons. As humans, we're more harder on ourselves than anybody else. You also have to learn to appreciate you right now. Like, it's okay to think about the future and growing up or whatever and getting old. What you don't want to happen is you living out your 20s and 30s stressed and worried. Growing up fast can be so challenging. My advice for that is to live each moment. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's the smallest thing, like talking to your parents or somebody in the kitchen, take that moment in, because 9 times out of 10, we learn something new every day. Everybody think being a man is just like, macho, and it's like, it's more to that, you know what I'm saying? Being a man is more than just physical. It all starts up here and in here. If your heart is right and your head is clear, you're able to show a good example of what being a man is. Everybody grew up different, everybody have different backgrounds, so the definition of being a man can vary through different aspects, but For me personally, for what I've learned from my own father, taking care of your family, make sure your family is good, make sure you're good as well. Taking care of your responsibilities, loving yourself, loving those around you, and make sure they are okay. The next one I want to talk about is growing up around a lot of women. This one I can speak for myself. My personal experience is I grew up around my sisters. My sisters took very well kept of me, made sure I had everything I had. When a guy grows up around a lot of women, people can take that as like him being too feminine, or people assume all the time, oh, he must be gay. And nothing's wrong with being gay, but a lot of people assume that because this certain male has female mannerisms, or talking with my hands, or little mannerisms or whatever, people assume he's gay or he's feminine, but in reality it's just adjusting to your surroundings. There are a lot of guys who are raised by just their moms, you know what I'm saying, and they pick up mannerisms and people think, oh, they did that. Yo, it's me editing here. I know I look crazy, but hear me out. In this video, I feel like for this particular segment I didn't really get my point across. I wanted to get it a little bit clearer, especially because I relate to this topic so much, that when I talk about it, I really go deep. And I'm watching the clip and I'm like, I go so deep into detail that a lot of people be like, is he talking in code? What is he talking about? Let me explain. So basically, what I wanted to say in this clip is that there's nothing wrong with being raised by women. If anything, being raised by women can teach you a lot. Being raised by women has really taught me how to respect other women. Smaller things like opening the door, pulling out a chair for a young lady, things like that, you know what I'm saying, that some men don't really learn at a young age. I will always be appreciative that my sisters made sure I was taken well care of, and they taught me how to respect women in the process of learning. And my advice to men out there who are in the same situation, who was raised by a lot of women and people assume things about you, is to know that you're ahead of the game. You quickly learn things that a lot of men don't learn until they're in their like teens or whatever the case may be, versus when you're younger, you learn these things, you pick up on these things, you learn them, and you know how to treat women, and it's a whole lot. But yeah, that's just my advice. Just know that you're not behind. It doesn't make you less manlier. It doesn't make you less masculine. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you're ahead of the game. Period. You know how you're raised, don't listen to other people and let other people be in your ear, because at the end of the day, you know your life. Next one I want to discuss was having alone time. When we do these jobs and schools and all these other different things around the world, like 24 hours in the day, we're around people. It's okay to take time to yourself. A lot of times as humans, we're so scared of being alone. I never really was into big crowds until I got to college and started making friends and started going out more. It's okay to take a day or two to yourself. My last point is, don't let society get to you. To any man that's watching this, all these stigmas and norms of what you should be and what you shouldn't be is not who you should be truly. Everybody has their own experience growing up in this world. If you are taking others' experiences and trying to apply it to yourself, it's not going to work, because that's not your path. Learn and grow with yourself, so that way you can know, hey, this is what I stand for. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I love y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
If you love me, then gotta work for the both of us. Put you in the driver's seat.